Okay, so sealing natural stone. I know there's different versions of how people speak, so just use this in your own language, but this is just going to cover the basics really. And I just thought I'd do a bit of a Q&A, and I think that's the best way to sort of talk about it, because then you can, I guess, answer the questions that you may have. So why do we recommend that natural stone be sealed? All natural stones have various porosity and absorption levels, and we have all that testing data on all our intranet. If you haven't seen that, go on there. Water absorption is a really good barometer, I guess, to judge a stone. So when you see water absorption below 3%, generally it's going to wear really well. Above 3%, it's probably going to wear and mark a little bit, but that's a good sort of barometer to use. So all stones have a different level. Sealing a stone with a penetrative sealer is what we recommend. Not only provides a high level of surface stain protection, but it also protects against other types of damage caused by water penetration. We can't underestimate just what water can do. We talked about staining, but water is also a cause of damage to stone. So things like efflorescence, salticate, freeze-thaw spalling, which is when something gets affected by hot and cold temperatures, picture framing, and it also stops mould growth and growth in the pores of the material. Sealants also enhance the ability to maintain the stone over a long period of time. So how does the sealant work, and what does it do to the stone? So sealants impregnate the stone, the outside core structure of the stone, and the molecules within the sealant permanently bond with the stone by chemical reaction, and that hardens the stone and creates a long-lasting grout, oil and water repellent barrier. The penetrating sealants that we recommend still allow the stone to breathe, and so that any water vapour that's in the stone or below the stone or coming from above can escape freely, preventing harmful moisture build up within the material. You'll see a little diagram there that just shows the difference between when a stone is sealed and when it's unsealed. So the molecules you see in the stone, every stone's got those, and some are bigger, some are smaller than others, and that's where the porosity of different stones changes. Do all stones require sealing? It's a question we get asked all the time. Does all stones? Well, we have a bit of a blanket saying yes. But if there's a stone that you don't need to recommend sealing, it's porphyry. Really you don't. So porphyry, if they say self-cleaning, it's crystals, it's natural formation of the stone, is what repels any sort of penetration of oils and stains and water. So really you can get away with porphyry without being sealed. There's different ways to seal a stone, and one is dip sealing. And what is dip sealing? Dip sealing is the process of coating all sides of a piece of stone in a sealant. Usually this is done to prevent salt attack around a swimming pool. And so you'll seal all 6 sides before the stone is laid, especially just the coping. When we do the sandstone suppliers recommend actually dip sealing beyond the coping and going 2 or 3 metres back with the paving, but we'll talk about that more in the product. But generally the coping is what's dip sealed. So this is also done on highly moisture sensitive stones, can be done on other stones, especially in bathrooms and other wet areas, so limestones and bluestones and things like that. But really, if you're not sure about that sort of thing in those sort of areas, just ask a project by project thing. Blanket though, coping around the wood is really where dip sealing is needed. And the process is done with Dri-Treat 40SK. So I've listed a little bit about that product on the next page. What is the process of sealing stones around swimming pools? Well, generally the coping units will be laid first around a pool, and these are in direct contact with the water, and the coping unit will be dip sealed. We spoke about that just then. And once the coping has been sealed and then installed, then the rest of the product is then laid, and just everything is then sealed with something like Stainproof or maybe one of the Aquamix products. But basically the coping will be sealed twice, so 40SK and then with Stainproof. We won't go through all the sealants, you can read about those and you probably know a little bit about those, but I've just listed there the products that we recommend and a little bit about what each product is and the contacts for each of the companies that we deal with. So Dri-Treat and Aquamix are the two companies that we recommend products from, and you can see the main products there that we recommend from those. Will the sealant change the look of the stone? Other than Enrich and Seal, which is a product from Aquamix, all other sealants that are listed keep a natural look of the stone and do not change the colour. We think that's the best. All the showroom here has been sealed with Dri-Treat Stainproof. Some products, however, have been sealed with Aquamix Sealer's Choice Gold. Sealer's Choice Gold has a little bit better effect on grey stones and more moisture sensitive stones and won't change the colour as much as what Dri-Treat Stainproof may. So there's a little bit of information there. So generally, we don't want to change the colour. We think the stone naturally should look how it is without enhancing it or going other way. It's really the client's decision. Will the sealant change the slip rating? No, it won't. It's a penetrating sealer. It's not a surface sealant. It doesn't change the finish on top of the stone. It penetrates into the stone, and that's why the surface and slip rating does not change. Can sealant be removed? Yes, it can. However, it's a difficult process and something that should be undertaken by someone like an expert in the field like Simon Bailey. He needs to remove the sealant, extract the sealant from the stone, and it's done by a machine. So it's not something everyone can do. How long will sealants last? The sealants that we recommend should last for more than 10 years. However, this obviously depends on the type of stone and where it's been used. If the client wants some sort of warranty, it's best to discuss with the sealant company themselves. So I know each sealant company and each sealant provides a different sort of time frame. I don't know how they come at that because some of these sealants haven't been around for the length of time that they're saying that it'll last. So that's something that the sealant companies can discuss if it needs to be.